Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news in a move that has caught the NFL world by surprise. There are strong rumors swirling around a potential blockbuster trade involving Quenton Nelson, the Colts' dominant offensive guard, heading to the Washington Commanders. Now, I know that might sound like just another rumor at first, but if you follow the league closely, you understand how significant this could be for Washington's offensive line and their entire team outlook moving forward. Nelson is one of the most highly respected guards in the league, and his potential arrival could be a game-changer for the Commanders, especially considering their ongoing efforts to build a more formidable interior offensive line and boost their chances of contending in the NFC. Let's start by giving you a little background on Nelson himself. Quenton Nelson, the bulldozer, has been a force since he entered the league back in 2018. He's been a perennial All-Pro, making the Pro Bowl multiple times, and his PFF grades over the years have been nothing short of elite. In the 2025 season, he posted an overall grade of 90, which is outstanding for an interior lineman. His run blocking was exceptional at 92. And he allowed just 1 sack across 598 snaps, with pressures limited to 18. That kind of consistency is rare for a guard, especially one tasked with protecting a young quarterback or helping to establish a strong run game. Nelson's ability to create yards and open lanes is reminiscent of legends like Larry Allen, with a power that strikes fear into defenses. His presence on the field boosts the run game significantly, increasing EPA per run by about 15%, and he's known for his durability, having missed just 1 game in his career due to a knee injury. The Colts, despite having a decent cap space of around $45 million, are entering a bit of a rebuild phase. With Anthony Richardson developing into their franchise quarterback, they're prioritizing youth and draft picks to rebuild the roster, especially along their offensive line. Their OL ranked 14th in PFF grade at 79-2, which isn't terrible but certainly not elite. They're also eyeing to free up cap space, and the $25 million savings from trading Nelson could be a strategic move to bolster their secondary or other areas of need. The Colts are ecstatic about their future with Nelson, especially since they're focusing on building around Richardson and want to allocate resources to developing their young QB and bolstering the pass rush with their draft picks. They're looking for a rebuild that leans heavily on future assets, which makes Nelson potentially available if the right offer comes along. Now, that's where it gets really interesting for Commanders fans. If this trade happens, it's not just about adding a top-tier guard. It's about transforming the offensive line into a true fortress protected by one of the best interior linemen in the league. When Nelson joins forces with Cosme, the interior of Washington's line immediately elevates. We're talking about a potential reduction in sacks by around 15%, which is huge when you consider how many times the Commanders have struggled to keep their quarterbacks upright. With Nelson anchoring the middle, the run game could see a significant boost, with yards per game increasing from around 102 to roughly 135. That kind of upgrade on the offensive line would open up lanes for the running backs and give quarterback Sam Howell more time to make plays downfield. Furthermore, pressures on the quarterbacks could drop by 20%, making life a lot easier for the skill position guys and giving Howell a lot more confidence in the pocket. The impact on the offense could be transformative. The YBC, yards before contact, would see a rise of about 1 yards per carry, and pocket stability for Daniels, who is expected to be the starting QB, could increase by roughly 18%. That means more consistent drives and fewer costly sacks. For Washington, this isn't just about plugging a gap. It's about establishing a new identity on offense, one rooted in power and control at the line of scrimmage. Historically, similar moves, like the Browns acquiring Wyatt Bitonio, have given teams a 20% boost in OL efficiency. That kind of improvement isn't just a number. It translates into real wins on the field, more sustained drives, and ultimately a more competitive team aiming for the playoffs and beyond. Looking at the bigger picture, Nelson's addition could significantly boost the Commanders' Super Bowl odds. Before the rumors, their chances might have been around plus 5,000, a long shot, but with Nelson, those odds could improve drastically to about plus 2,100. Why? Because he's an X-factor in run blocking with a grade of 92. 3, capable of opening lanes against tough fronts like the Eagles or the Cowboys. His presence allows the offense to be more balanced, more aggressive, and harder to defend. Historically, when Nelson was with the Colts, his impact raised their Super Bowl odds from plus 2,000 to plus 800 in 2019, as he transformed their offensive line into a true power unit. For Washington, this move could be the final piece needed to push toward a deep playoff run, especially if Howell continues to develop and shows promise as the franchise QB. And let's not forget, this trade isn't just about immediate gains. It's about planting the seeds for a potential dynasty along the trenches. Nelson, with his reputation as a rock-solid, implacable force, would serve as a foundational piece, anchoring the offensive line for years to come. The Colts, meanwhile, seem to be betting on their rebuild, focusing on developing Richardson and retooling their defense and offensive line through draft picks. If Washington pulls this off, it's a clear signal that they're serious about competing now and for the future. They're building a team that can not only contend, but also dominate the NFC East and beyond. In conclusion, this rumored trade could be a turning point for the Commanders. With Nelson, they're not just adding a player, they're shifting the entire power dynamic within the division. A stronger, more reliable offensive line means more wins, better performances, and closer steps toward that elusive Super Bowl. It's a bold move, but one that screams championship potential, especially if it helps unlock the full potential of their young quarterback and star players. The Colts might be static about their rebuild, but Washington is clearly aiming high, stacking their chips on a future where they're no longer just playoff hopefuls but division champions and Super Bowl contenders. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think, Commanders fans? Is this the move that finally takes Washington to the next level? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing Nelson in the burgundy and gold? How do you think he will impact the team's chances this season and in the years to come? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear all your takes. Your opinion really matters, not just to us, but to the entire Washington community. Remember, I'll be back soon with even more updates, rumors, and analysis, so stay tuned and keep supporting the Commanders. The journey to a Super Bowl runs through the trenches, and if this trade happens, it could be the start of a new era, an era of dominance, resilience, and finally, victory. Let's go, Commanders.